Hello, everyone, and welcome to the I Fear I Have Thoughts podcast. Today, we will be talking about positivity and how positivity is literally everything. One of my most given and favorite compliments ever is that I'm just so positive. And let me tell you, it has taken so much pessimism, hurt, pain, humbling, and awful emotions to get to the amount of optimism and happiness that I have now. So I want to freaking talk about it. But before we get started, here's a great example of optimism for you guys. I don't need I don't need those headphones right now. This mic, not on. Because the computer monitor, not on. I came in the podcast studio on a Saturday, and I come in, and this freaking cable, where is it? Literally, where is it? This cable was not plugged in. I don't know where to plug it in, guys. One side of it's plugged into the computer. I have no clue what to do with this side. I asked ChatGPT, which I don't condone, but I'm down bad. I asked Google. I asked my tech friend. I texted the general manager of this place, and she doesn't know what to do with it. It says that the tech people unplugged everything on Friday. And I searched the whole entire place for an adapter for it as well. So, I am out of luck, okay? And to make it worse, let me tell you, when I got here, okay, so this podcast studio is connected to our David Letterman building. Our David Letterman building is connected to one building called Robert Bell, connected to another building, the communications building, which is also connected to the art and journalism building. All of these buildings, you can walk through them to get to the other, and these are my 4 buildings for my major that I'm kind of always in. So thank goodness they're connected. I go in to where I usually scan in, the Robert Bell scan in, goes green, but the door's not unlocking. I do it again. Same thing. I'm out of luck. I go to the side door of that building. Try again. Nothing. I go to the next building. This building that's connected to it. Try. Nothing. Next building. Communication building. Try. Nothing. I get to the 4th and final building. And I literally am watching a man lock the door as I'm about to go up to it to try to scan in, but I was too far. If I started running then, I was still I wasn't gonna start running, I saw it, but I was too far to really stop it from happening. I get to that door, I'm thinking, no way, this is gonna work. I just watched him lock the side door. I scan, it goes green, so did all the other ones though, and it didn't let me in. It frickin' lets me in. I walk in, and the guy, and there's a woman too, I guess they're custodians, and they're did you have a key to get in here? And I was yes. Yes, I did, I promise. I thought I was about to get kicked out. So that's what I went through to get into the building, and then I come in here and I have the whole computer mess up situation. Then I'm whatever. I'm just gonna film on my camera. And call it a day. I'll just use the sound from my camera. I turn on my camera. My battery is dead. My battery is dead, and I don't have a battery charger with me right now. And actually, I don't even have a battery charger in general. I just needed to get new freaking batteries. Are we kidding? And I'm so proud of myself that I kept my composure. I kept my ish together. And I'm still doing my podcast episode that was going to be about anxiety. But no, let's talk about positivity, because this is something that, honestly, I don't give myself enough credit for. So let me come on here and talk about it for an hour and give myself credit. No, but seriously, I wasn't gonna let this go, okay? I'm gonna still pretend this microphone is doing anything for me right now, and that I can hear myself in these headphones. but I can't because the computer's not plugged in. But let's freaking talk about it. Oh my gosh. So I'm using my phone. I have a camera tripod. So I can't use a tripod. I'm using a trash can and a bottle of body armor to keep my phone up right now. And here we are. We're gonna do the episode, baby. So let's talk about pessimism and what goes through your mind when you are being pessimistic about a situation. So, as I spoke about in my last podcast, and I will talk about 100 times again, words are magic. Affirmations are magic. You can speak really anything that you want into existence. It's something that we do every single day. We speak things into existence for ourselves every single day, whether we realize it or not. So when something bad happens and you're like, oh, of course this happens to me, like, this is my luck, like, of course, like, nothing good ever happens to me. You're kind of just reinforcing that these little conundrums, or maybe huge conundrums, are just going to keep happening and repeating themselves because you are literally telling yourself, of course this happens to me. Translating in your brain as, I deserve this. I deserve that this happening to me. Nothing ever goes my way. Nothing will ever go my way. That is what you are saying. And although you might not wholeheartedly mean that, your brain and your subconscious brain does not know that. They take these words that you are feeling with emotion, they register them, and they store them, and it stays there. And I mean, you're really just asking for it to happen more. I think something to help with pessimism or negative thoughts or negative self-talk as well. I've read this in a couple self-help books, but make a joke out of it. Instead of like being like, oh, of course this happens to me, like make a joke out of it, like be sarcastic. This happened to me. Oh, I should care so much over this huge thing. Be dramatic and joke with yourself, almost make fun of yourself in a way that it's like, this happened to you? Well, so has 20 other good things. Like, for example, I could joke about this and be like, of course, every little tech thing possible goes wrong, but I'm not gonna let it go. I'm not gonna let it fly. I'm still gonna continue because I'm that girl. Hype yourself up, joke about it, make the situation less than it is, because in the grand scheme of things, how big is it, How big is it? Oh gosh, I wish I knew the book that I initially read this from, but it was just basically poking fun at yourself for complaining about these things and for feeling ungrateful or for overreacting over these things. And it kind of teaches your brain that this is an overreaction. It's not meant to be taken seriously. And it's something that you can cope through joking. Another thing is really counting your blessings. I think being grateful for things changes your perspective on absolutely everything. People who have barely anything still have things to be grateful for, and people who have a lot, I mean, we are often the ones who forget to count our blessings and to be grateful because there's just so much in front of us. So kind of think about that. When something goes wrong, think, I had the resources for this to be able to go wrong. I had the camera equipment. I had the financial ability. I had the physical space to come and do this. I have the campus and the college where I come to do this for all of this to go wrong. I should be grateful that I have the opportunity to do all these things, that I have the opportunity to have these things, to come to these places. Be grateful for that. I just think count your blessings, guys. It's so important. There's always things to be grateful when you actually start to look around. Like, whatever you're listening to, this on right now, your phone, your computer, maybe an iPod, probably not an iPod, your headphones, your AirPods, whatever. Be grateful for those. Those are small little items that you use day to day and might never think to thank. Although I feel like a lot of those issues it is those damn phones. It is those damn phones. I definitely think our phones are a blessing and a curse, but that's a whole nother episode. We could talk about toxic social media and how it has changed the communication world and just the way that we communicate with each other and everything in between. But to listen to your music, to have headphones to listen to your music, that is something to be grateful for. Music is something to be grateful for. People can't take music away from you. Music is awesome, and everyone should be able to use music as their own kind of therapy. Did you buy yourself those headphones or those AirPods, or did someone else? Be grateful for your job that gave you the ability to pay for them. Be grateful for your parent who bought you them. Be grateful for the store that you got them at. Like, there's just endless things to be thankful for. And when you start thinking about those things more, it makes other things just seem smaller in the grand scheme of life. I also just think, like, being a light makes other people want to be around you. Being super dim and dull, no one loves a person who brings just like this gloomy, like, wave of air with them when they come into a room. And maybe you have people like that in your life that you might just need to cut off. And that can be hard because sometimes the people that are bringing the most gloom and darkness with them, places that rubs off on other people, can sometimes be people who are going through the worst things or the most things. And I don't want to say to cut off someone that is struggling, but I do want to tell you that if someone else's struggles are making you struggle, it is okay to cut off a struggling friend or a struggling partner, because you need to live for you. You need to live your life for yourself. You are not going to be living your life until you're 80 years old, tending to your miserable friend. That's not how it's going to be, and that's not how it should ever be. There might be people in your life who aren't going through a lot, and they just are mean people. I think some people are kind of mean people by nature, and maybe it's because the way that they grew up, so it's really by nurture, they grew up in a super pessimistic home, and they never got room to grow and to change from that. But I'm here to tell you, as someone who grew up with not the most optimistic parents at all, that love them though, that you still have the opportunity to not be a pessimist. You can still be optimistic. You can still be grateful. You can still be full of life and light, even if you grew up not around light and happiness and love. You can still be a vessel for those things, and you can still spread those things upon other people. And that will just make other people want to be around you more, and it will also attract fellow light, loving people. How you put yourself out there, how you show yourself to others is what attracts other people to you. So in order to be surrounded by these lighthearted, happy, non-hating, non-miserable people, you need to be that way. And it is okay to cut people out of your life who do not make you feel that way and who block that from you. Some people genuinely block you from seeing that the grass is greener on the other side, or some people genuinely block you from seeing that there is light on the other side of the tunnel. And sometimes you need to cut out people who once were your light or you thought were your light to be able to understand that. And that is okay, because you need to live your life for yourself. It is so important, guys, to live your life for your freaking selves, okay? That's one of my 2026 goals, is to just live my life for me, do what's best for me, what I want to do, what I know is best for me, because I realized, like, how much of my life am I really living for myself? Always thinking like, oh, I don't want this person to be mad at me or make this person uncomfortable, or I don't want to do this and this, or like, I don't want like blah 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 to say whatever, or meh, meh, meh. Like, no, I literally cut the like, this is my year. I'm making it my year. I cut whatever is annoying me and bringing me down completely off going back from this semester, because I want to do things for me. And when I do things for myself, it makes me a happier and a nicer person. I think being selfish is sometimes one of the best things you can possibly do for yourself. Duh. That sounded like duh. Being selfish can sometimes also be the best thing that you can do for other people as well. Being selfish can sometimes be the biggest step towards loving and acceptance. You would never guess. But start being more selfish. Genuinely. Start being more selfish, unless you're actually like a selfish person. But from someone who has trouble focusing on myself, focus on yourself and become more selfish. Conserve your energy more. Conserve what you say with your words more. Put only nice things into yourself, as if you're like literally glazing yourself. Make sure you're spending time with yourself, like it matters more than anything, because it really, really does. Stop doing what makes other people happy and do strictly what makes you happy, even if it's harsh, as long as you're not harming other people, of course. Start doing what you think isn't socially acceptable or isn't a norm. Start doing things for yourself. And you might feel selfish at first, and that is why I use that word, because I think humans are so, not all people, but many humans, lots of our population is so afraid of being selfish and so afraid of being called conceited or whatever, that we completely push aside all of our needs, all of our wants, and everything that will unlock our highest potential, just because we don't want to appear selfish or narcissistic. And I am 100% a victim of this, and I am done. I am done doing that. We are all the main characters in our own lives. We should all have main character syndrome to some extent. Again, I'm not talking about harming people and being so delusional or whatever. I just mean we seriously are all the main character of our lives. Act like it. Act like it. The main character has the best life in the movies, or has the most success in the movies, or whatever, because we, as viewers, see everything through their eyes. We focus everything through their eyes, and the movie does things to allow the main character to reach their highest potential. Be that for yourself. You are the main character in your own movie of your life. And you are not just the actor, you are the director, the producer. You can orchestrate literally all of it. And that is what I mean by it is okay to be selfish sometimes. And again, it will just make you a better person if you start prioritizing your life, not hurting others, but prioritizing you over everyone, and see how everything else in your life changes. It really changes everything. And when you love yourself more, you can love other people more. It is true, you can't fully love someone if you don't love yourself. You can't love your life if you don't love yourself. You can't love your job if you don't love yourself. You can't love, what can you love if you don't love yourself? Because every single thing comes from within. I need lip gloss. Hold on. This is me being selfish and getting what I need. But seriously, guys, When you start prioritizing yourself and you start counting your blessings and finding things to be grateful for, your life will get better. And it will be easier to be positive because you appreciate yourself. You appreciate the efforts that you put in to things, to be able to fail at something, to be able to attempt something and fail, to be able to even climb up that hill and slide down should be a blessing and something to be grateful for because you had the opportunity to do so and you will learn after doing so. I kind of just think everything happens for a reason, and the reason may be totally unknown, but reminding yourself that in frustrating and hard times, I think is super important. I reminded myself of that after my not being able to get into the buildings and then getting into the buildings and not being able to turn on the monitors or anything like that. And then my camera breaking, everything happens for a reason. And the reason is unknown. I don't know why, but I do know that because I kept my head high and I kept my positivity and my optimism high, that I'm still here producing an episode for my podcast that I am going to post. I am going to like it. You guys are going to like it, hopefully. And I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. If I gave up and I packed up my stuff in a huff, why am I talking old? I pack up my stuff, all mad, whatever. I go home. I would have been miserable the rest of the night, and I knew it. The only way that I would have felt better after this is if I still recorded and knew that I had something walking away from this. So do what you know is best for you. Do what you know is going to make you happy, even if there's setbacks, even if there's difficulties, technical difficulties, life, mental, people, whatever. Do it anyway and do it for yourself. And when you overcome these obstacles, it automatically kind of makes you a more positive and optimistic person because you know that nothing is going to get you down, no matter what the issue is, what happens, nothing is going to get you down. Prove it to yourself and you will start seeing it in your day-to-day life even more. I am proving it to myself. I got all ready to come here, went through all of that, and I'm still doing this to prove to myself I'm not a quitter. I don't give up, and I will never give up. And when I have that mindset, nothing is a complete failure to me because I know I will not let it. I will not let myself fail. I will not let the situation fail. And maybe it did. What if my phone wound up dying too? Well, I would have to walk away. I wouldn't really have an option, and I would go try again another day. But not today. Not today, Satan. Speaking of my phone dying, it is at literally 20%, so I just put it on airplane mode. But anyway, that's what I mean. Take initiative in your own life and take initiative every single day. Feeling like you are on autopilot in your own life is one of the worst emotions you can feel, especially for someone who deals with anxiety and feels like just the urge to be in control all the time. Just feeling like you are stuck in autopilot in your own life can be one of the worst feelings ever. And no one deserves to feel like that. Literally, no one deserves to feel like that. And the only way to not feel like that is to take initiative in your life. Make those quote unquote selfish decisions that aren't really selfish. They really aren't. Just start choosing yourself. Choose you always. You are who you are with at the end of every single day. You wake up and go to bed with yourself every single day. Maybe you're married or maybe you live with your partner and you wake up and you get ready with them every single day too. But when they're not there, who do you have? When they're on a work trip, vacation, girls' night out, before they were in your life, and after, if there will be an after they were in your life, who is there with you? You and yourself. And when you feed into yourself and you love yourself and you pour into your own cup, it is a lot easier to pour into other people's cups because you have extra to give. You can't really give if you have nothing to give yourself. So maybe you need the motivation of wanting to be better for other people to make you better for yourself. Then think about it that way. Yeah, I think it does take a certain level of being delusional to get to this specific level of positivity and optimism. But I think a little delulu-ness never hurt no one. Like I keep saying, guys, as long as you're not hurting other people, I think that there's no harm in being like happily delusionally optimistic. Like, I just saw a video of Lady Gaga and someone was saying like, did you always know you were going to be famous or something? And she was like, well, yes, because even when I was so small, I was like, I am so famous and I am born to be a star. I was born to be a star and I knew that I was. She was right. Like, she was right. And so if you feel that in your heart that you were made to be a star, you were made for this or whatever, take that and run with it, baby. Run with it. Keep telling yourself that over and over and over and over until it is your reality. I'm getting too passionate. I'm messing up my words. Say things to yourself over and over and over until you convince yourself that it is true. And once you convince yourself that it is true, it will already be true. I think being delusionally optimistic helps with a lot of freaking situations. That goes back to what I was saying about kind of making jokes about your issues and your struggles, putting it into perspective as if, you have your whole life to figure this out and it's nothing. Let it roll off your back. It's nothing. You have your whole life to figure this out. Treat it like it's a small little thing and you will be okay. Be delusional about your wants and your dreams. I think being realistic is kind of dumb. But to me, realistic and delusional are the same. I can sit here and say that my dream goal is to be a super successful podcaster, media influencer, that I don't have to have a job. This can be my job. I don't have to have a real job. My dream would be to be just super YouTube famous and have a platform where speaking like this is my job. Someone could say that's delusional. Well, I might say that it's realistic. You know what I mean? Like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and you need to choose to see success in your present and your future. You need to choose to see optimism in your present and your future, and it will start choosing you. Success and dreams and success will start choosing you because you chose them. Being optimistic and being able to keep moving forward is a choice. You can't always choose when you slip into a bad mood. Sometimes it just happens for no reason, which I totally get and happens to me. But then you have to choose to put yourself in a good mood. It's all about choices, and I just think everyone needs to start choosing for their best, highest version of themselves, and it will translate beautifully into all areas of your life, your friendships, your relationships, your schooling, your work, how you view yourself, your creativity, your gratitude towards life. Like artists, I was drinking tea the other night, as if I never drink tea. I love tea. I am such a tea drinker. But my tea always has like a little quote on the paper of it, and it was a Van Gogh quote, and it was saying, those who love nature, or those who truly love nature, see beauty in everything. Saying those who truly appreciate nature and the beauty of nature and the nature of nature can find beauty in absolutely everything and find something to be appreciative for in absolutely everything, because you understand there's so much that goes into everything. Nothing's that easy. Nothing is that easy, and there's just so much work and so many various processes that go into every single little thing. Everything is a mechanism in its own way. And there's way to see beauty in that, but you just have to recognize it, and you have to choose to recognize it. And that has to be a conscious decision for you until it becomes subconscious. Once you consciously choose to be positive and you consciously choose to see the good and the light of things, it eventually becomes systematically in your brain natural to think that way. And who the heck would not want to naturally think that way? So you really just have to choose that for yourself. And eventually it will all start falling into place for you. I love those teas with those little quotes. I think seeing listening or reading other people's work, like artists, whether it's a painter or a rapper or a poet, whatever, I think consuming media that makes you feel more happy and more grateful is super important, because what we consume kind of goes one ear, goes out the other, but really without us even realizing, all of this is trying to be stored in our brains and in our bodies. And it's just too much. Like scrolling on social media and all of that's too rapid fire for our brains to actually get to process each of those thoughts and each of those feelings and emotions. But our brains and our bodies are trying to do so. So consume things that make you feel better. And it will probably make a bigger difference than you thought. Like, some people like to listen to sad music because they like the vibe or whatever. Like, don't do that. I did that when I was super depressed. Like, no. Put on some, like, EDM if you have to. Put on house music. Seriously. Music is energy. Put on music that makes you feel better, more powerful, more optimistic, more grateful, more alive. Consume content that makes you feel better at the end of your days. Watch something that makes you laugh, or watch something that you think is, like, adorable. Start your day. Don't scroll on your phone when you start your day. Don't do that, guys. Start your day with good music, good affirmations, good vibrations, and everything will just kind of naturally be more positive from there. Seriously, input what you want to come out, and you guys will see the biggest difference ever. But yeah, I just think, like, being happy, unfortunately, is a decision. How cool would it be if everyone could just be happy? Like, what if everyone in the world could be safe, healthy, and happy? You would choose it. You would choose it. I would choose it. I don't know who wouldn't choose that. So choose that for yourself. Happiness, it's not a default. Life is so hard, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And tell yourself that. I wish that everyone's automatic setting on life was happy, but it's just not that simple. It's so complicated, and there is always going to be obstacles and things that are thrown in our way, but that is just a part of our life, and you gotta learn to love it, and you have to choose to be happy. A lot of the times, you don't choose to be sad. You don't choose to be mad. You don't choose to grieve. You don't choose these harsh feelings that hurt us so bad and just pull us down and down and down. But we have to choose happiness. And it's like a reward. It literally is like a reward. The best feeling that we have to feel are the ones that we have to choose to feel. And the worst feelings that we feel as humans are the ones that we do not choose to feel. But we actually get the opportunity as human beings to choose the happiness and choose the light and choose to have a better life and choose to have a better outlook on life. We have that opportunity, and that is a blessing, and that in itself is something to be extremely, extremely, extremely grateful for. And I hope that I could help anyone today with their positivity and look on life, because there's always something to look forward to, even in the most hardest times. And sometimes you really have to take that one thing and grasp onto it for dear life, and it will be worth it. It will truly be worth it. And like I said, condition and train your brain to be so delusionally optimistic that your brain has no other choice but to think on the brighter side. And that is just, it's a great thing to do. It's a great skill to have. You will get further in life. You will be able to help other people in your life, and you will be secure in the fact that you are able to help yourself in life no matter what possibly comes at you. And happiness, it is a choice, and I hope that we can all choose happiness in the way that serves us best and most personally for ourselves. And I really hope that this sees the right people and the right people listen to this, because you deserve happiness. You deserve to see the light in all situations. You don't deserve to have darkness and gloominess over you, and you don't deserve to have negativity upon you in these types of ways. You don't. And once you start believing truly that you do not deserve that, you won't tolerate it anymore. And you shouldn't tolerate it. And no one deserves to tolerate that. So you guys got this. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening to my second episode of the I Fear I Have Thoughts podcast. I will be coming at you guys with another episode this week, actually, because of my technical difficulties. I'm gonna come back on Monday when everything is back set up and the tech guys do their thing, and I'm gonna do another episode talking, probably, this chair is so squeaky and you can hear it because my microphone isn't plugged in, but I will do my other episode with a camera and with a battery and with the audio, and it will be higher quality. But I can't wait to talk to you guys. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube here for more episodes of the I Fear I Have Thoughts podcast, where we talk things out. It's a safe place for the overthinkers, for anyone who is insecure, anxious. Like, I got you, and we are going through this together. And yeah, I'm Lilly Tavarez, and I hope that you guys all have the best day ever, because you deserve it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!